Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Getting Social podcast. I am your host, Jeff Policard, and today we have a very special episode for you. We have the pleasure of having the 2016 Miss Universe first runner-up and author Raquel Pélissier on the show. We'll be talking about her run at Miss Universe, also her YouTube channel, her influence on social media, and her foundation helping the children of Haiti. So without further ado, it's time to get social. Hi, Raquel. First of all, welcome on the show and thank you for being on the show. And before we begin, I want to ask how you're doing.
I'm doing amazing.
Oh, nice.
I am doing amazing. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. The circumstances are difficult, like many people know, but I think we're, the lucky ones. We're healthy. We're doing a podcast, we're having a conversation, so we have to be grateful for that.
Yeah, considering the circumstances, I think I'm doing very well because at first I was very scared of this whole situation, right? Mm-hmm. But I think I had to work a lot on myself to try to motivate myself and get that discipline, because when you're staying home, it's really hard to be disciplined and to try to be productive. So I think I'm happy because I'm learning every day to be, more disciplined, to be self-dependent and all of these things. And I'm pretty sure that when this quarantine is over, I'll be better than when it started, if it makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
I'm working on so many levels, so many things I wanted to do. For example, I wanted to read a lot of books that I didn't have time, but now I do have the time, so I work on it. I wanted to work out a little bit more. It's very hard to work out when you're at home, but you still make the effort, you get the discipline, and you get stuff done. So it feels amazing. And something else that I struggled with at home, I would say the diet. The diet is the worst thing because when you're at home, you want to snack on everything, right? So it was very hard not to open my fridge like every 5 minutes. But now I am very happy because I am on top of this. I can say that I am actually winning this quarantine.
And you know what? You're saying all the right things because all these things that you're saying, I've experienced. The fridge thing, I actually told myself that I have to practice social distancing with my fridge in the beginning. Yeah, because
that's so weird. Exactly.
It was too much. It was way too much. It was like every chance I get, I pass by. I'm like, hey, let me see what's in there. Same things are in there, but
you just say hi.
Yeah, just say hi, And even in the beginning, like you said, trying to keep up with the routine and trying to work out still, trying to eat healthy, trying to be productive, read more. All of these things were on my list in the beginning, but it was tough to adjust. Even with the gym, I found an excuse the first couple of weeks to say, you know what, the gym is closed. Maybe I don't need to work out. And then I'm like, well, I started seeing the results of not working out. I'm like, you know what, maybe I should find a way to work out at home. What are some of the workouts that you do at home, for example?
So I follow this page. So I do this live workout on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So I basically work out with a personal trainer.
Nice.
So this is very cool. And this is one of the sessions I offered in my quarantine live session.
Okay.
So I actually did a session with the personal trainer because the workouts were so amazing. And this is something I would have never tried in normal times. So many things I've tried to do virtually, I would have never do. So I do also dance class with my friends. So it's just on a WhatsApp call. And
nice.
we do it every day. We have it at 1 or 2 p.m. every day during the week. So we motivate ourselves and be like, okay, sometimes if I'm falling back, she's going to pull me, back in. And vice versa, right? So there's so many activities that I'm doing that I would have never done, and they're great workouts.
That's awesome. And that's how to stay busy, and that's how to keep yourself motivated, keep yourself healthy mentally and physically. Because I feel like when I work out in the morning, when I go through my routine and meditate and express gratitude and all that kind of stuff, I have a much better day when I don't. And it's important for us to keep
Definitely.
our mental health, also.
Especially right now.
Yep.
Especially right now. I think this is the most important thing to focus on because when we're confined for so long, we know that we are experiencing up and downs.
Mm-hmm.
It is normal. Everybody goes through it, right?
Everybody.
Depressed and then up, and then we have all sorts of mood swings. But with the workout, it does get you up straight away.
It's amazing what it does. Like I notice the difference. Like I said, every time I don't work out, if I have like a streak of 4 or 5 days in a row, I notice like so clearly what I'm missing, and once I get back to it, boom, I get better. So it's important. So great words of encouragement. But I get a former Miss Universe first runner up. That's and I remember. I don't really follow that, but because I heard there was a Haitian woman that was, getting closer and closer to the finish line. I was like, really? And I started following and I started rooting, and that's when I really kind of discovered you. And I'm like, man, this is awesome. Like, this is how close we're getting. And honestly, I'm not biased, and I say that all the time. I feel, and I'm sure the winner did a great job. But honestly, it's not because you're here. And I said it even on social media. I'm like, nah, there's no way. I felt like it was a clear choice that you should have won. That's my opinion. I don't want to put you in a bad spot.
Thank you.
It's just my opinion. So and people were saying because she's Haitian. I'm like, no, honestly, it has nothing to do with that. I don't know you personally. I didn't know you at all at that time. So I was like, no, it's not. It's just I really feel like the way she answered the question, the way she presented herself, and overall, I'm not an expert, but overall, should have been the winner. But anyway,
Thank you.
You're still using the platform to share positive messages and stuff like that with your audience, and that's what counts, I think. And you're still making the best out of this and influencing so many people. And obviously, that's why we're here. But I want to share with the audience also the beginning. Tell us about your story, your life. How did you get from a Haitian girl to being a first runner up at the Miss Universe pageant?
Okay, so I think I would say that I've always been interested in modeling. Mm-hmm. So I started doing like fashion shows. I was 15 in Haiti, and I started then being that commercial model, right? Mm-hmm. I would be the girl that you would see in billboards or in TV commercials in Haiti. I never actually envisioned myself as in going a step further with modeling, taking it professionally, let's say moving to New York or another fashion capital, right? Because I was in high school and I knew the next step for me was education, and I would choose education over a modeling career, right? It was very obvious to me at that time. So I didn't really entertain that thought much. And I think I discovered pageantry much later. So I was in university. This is when I first started watching Miss Universe. I think it was in 2013. And this is when I started to fall in love with that industry. And modeling and pageantry, there are two different industries.
Yeah.
Right? So I let modeling aside, and then I tried to explore this industry a little bit more. What I valued about it is that we had, our opinion mattered. It was not just about like the body, how it looks, and physique, but it was also about your mind and the age also to participate. It allowed me to finish my university and to participate after that. So this is when I started entertaining that thought. I would say in 2013, it was the first time I was watching Miss Universe, and it was a great motivation for me. I might be wrong with the year. I'm not pretty sure, but this is when Leila Lopez won. She was a beautiful, beautiful contestant from Angola.
Okay, nice.
And to be honest, when I was watching this show, she was the most beautiful girl, and like she would have won, and if I was a judge, right? But I just didn't know if Miss Universe would choose her because she was, African. I didn't know if the industry valued African beauty as much, and also because she came from a very small country, right? From Africa, right? And when I saw they crown her, this changed everything for me.
Wow.
It changed everything because I was like, wow, if that girl is able to win and she comes from Angola, that means that someone from Haiti can go that far as well, right?
So that was the moment.
So this is something that opened my eyes. I started entertaining the thought. I was still in university, so I didn't think of interrupting my studies. But when I finished, I said, you know what? Why not? When am I gonna do it? When I'm old and I can't do it anymore?
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's an amazing story.
When I went to Haiti, I participated. I had no idea whatsoever about pageantry, just that one show that I watched.
And then from that moment, around 2013, you realized that you could also be on that stage and be crowned Miss Universe. And what was your next step? Did you automatically pick up the phone and call like maybe a pageantry school, or what's the next step? How do you get to that point?
Okay, so I would say I started to think what would the winner need to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
She would need to be educated. She would need to have a great body. And then I started working on myself a little bit more from that time on, but not pressuring myself. Like, when am I going to participate and stuff like that? Like, not pressuring myself. I think it was in 2011 to be sure. Yeah, it was in 2011 when she won. But I wasn't entertaining the thought, but I was actually working more on myself, reading more books, going, and exercising more and stuff like that. Without putting any pressure, because when you put yourself into that sort of pressure, I don't know. I wasn't decided yet, but at some point I felt prepared, to give it a try. So this is when I pick up the phone and I try to figure out, okay, who's running the contest and stuff like that, who has the franchise, how can I participate? And this is when I went to Haiti.
Wow. This is awesome. And then you have to go to Haiti to start the process, right? Of representing.
I went to Haiti to participate in the pageant.
Oh, okay.
We were hosting the pageant.
So you have to be...
I traveled there to go to the pageant.
Makes sense. So you have to be Miss Haiti to be...
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. You have to win the title of Miss Universe Haiti so that they can send you to Miss Universe.
Wow.
Because there's so many titles to win, right?
Yeah.
Miss World Haiti, but then they would send you to Miss World, right?
Oh, got it. But it has to be Miss Universe Haiti.
So many pageants. So I was interested in Miss Universe, so I was interested in winning the Miss Universe title.
Got it. And you came very, very, very close. And like I said, probably you went all the way, in my opinion. So from that point on, obviously, from 2011 to 2016, it was, right? For you?
Yeah.
2016. So 5 years, you got yourself prepared to be on that stage. Did you encounter any like major challenges or anything that almost made you feel like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, like I said, I wasn't entertaining the thought. I was just working more on myself.
Okay.
Just to be a better person. But I wouldn't say that I had the idea to participate back in 2011. Mm-hmm. It was a thought that was scaring me. I would have never taken that decision back then, to be honest. I think I took the decision in 2016.
Really? That same year?
Yes, this is the year that I actually took the decision. I forgot about it. I worked on myself, but then in 2016, I felt more mature. In 2011, I wasn't mature. I was just starting my career. I wouldn't think of myself in that stage yet. Definitely not.
Let's talk about your book. I know you published the book, your first book, The Art of Being Your Beautiful Self. Right? That was your first book, correct?
Yes, definitely.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that book? And I know that you said in one of your YouTube videos that you wish you would have had that book to guide you when you made your run for Miss Universe. So tell us a little bit about the book, what prompted you to write the book, and also what parts of the book that you felt that you feel could have helped you more during your run?
That's an amazing question. When I started participating, I had, when I tell you, no idea, no idea about pageantry. Like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So when I say I would have wished to have a book to tell me from A to Z, I really mean it. And I'm pretty sure that many girls find themselves in this situation. They're getting themselves into something, but they don't know what to expect from it. And I see that every day. Because I've been a judge in pageants, right? And I would ask the most basic question, like, why do you want to be Miss Haiti? Or why do you want to be Miss of this, a country? And sometimes they wouldn't even know why, and this is the first thing you would want to know. What they don't understand is that Miss Universe is a job. They train people for job interviews, and you cannot go to the casting without even knowing what you will do. As Miss Universe or as Miss Haiti, what will be your job? It's like going to a job interview without having no idea. Wow. And I decided maybe I can educate people on this level. I have learned so much. I can say that I've won Miss Haiti without knowing much about pageantry. To be honest, without knowing much, and even though I won the crown because maybe I was the most qualified there, I still didn't have the confidence enough confidence that I would do well on an international level. So when they sent me to my first beauty pageant, it was in Colombia, first international beauty pageant in Bolivia, I had no idea what I was doing, and ultimately I ended up placing third runner-up.
Okay.
Maybe when I listed there, I'm like, in my head, I'm participating with so many girls who know what they're doing, who have, been in pageantry for maybe many years, because, in this Latin America country, it's very popular, right? So I didn't think I had a chance. And when I placed third runner-up without knowing much, I definitely said to myself, there's something I did right. Maybe unconsciously, but I did something right if I went that far.
Absolutely.
Without much training, right? And I did learn so many things. So many things I learned in that pageant that it was like a 3-week or maybe 2-week training for me. So I said, okay, I'm going to use whatever I learned there and use it at Miss Universe, just to entertain that thought, right? And let's see where it brings me. Yep. And I ended up placing first runner-up at Miss Universe. So when I got to Miss Universe, I realized the same patterns that I saw previously in Bolivia. And I'm a great observer, right? So I observe everything that is happening around me, and I pick up very fast. So when I got to Miss Universe, and ultimately I saw that the same things were starting to happen, so I knew how I had to, go to the top.
You were better prepared.
Exactly what I share in my book, because you don't have to go. My training or whatever I learned was through my journey. Through the people I met, through I had after I won Miss Haiti, I had the opportunity of working with so many good mentors and coaches, and it was not documented, like you said at the beginning of the video. It was not documented, and I thought, wow, this is so many things they told me, but who's gonna benefit from it apart from me? Yeah. Yeah, so I started thinking of documenting it. I wrote my book in a month, honestly.
Really?
In a month. So
That's
I basically wrote it from what I had in my mind, like this.
That's awesome.
And then I sent the script, and this is how it was created.
And you wouldn't believe it, but I have a movie that is been in writing for the past 8 years.
What?
And yeah, it's an idea that I had. I actually wrote the first version. I lost it. It was on my computer. I did not back it up back then. I lost everything, and I told myself,
so annoying.
It's crazy. And I said I was gonna write it back again, and I have everything, I guess, in my mind or whatever, and I never really did. So to write a book in 1 month, I think is awesome. It's congratulations on that. Oh my God.
It was definitely a challenge, but I'm not afraid of challenges.
Hey, obviously you're not. So that's great to hear. And you actually are wrote a second book for children. Tell us a little bit about that book.
So this is a different book. This is an educational coloring book.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea behind that, I have a nonprofit, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it was actually working with the kids at my nonprofit that I got the idea, because I usually do workshops with the kids, like reading workshops. This is what I mostly do, or empowering workshops, and they would love it. What I realized is that they love when people engage with them and do sorts of activities. And when I launched my nonprofit, I wanted to do more activities, not just reading, but something that they love to do, like coloring. But then I started to look for a coloring book, and then I had this idea, why not create one? Because the one I wanted to work with, it was in my mind, and it was the perfect book. And I wouldn't find it in the market. So I said, you know what? Let me just create the book that I would want all kids to color with. And while they color, they can also learn all these important messages that I want to transmit them.
Awesome.
About history, about our culture, about lifetime values, about important social values, such as loving your country, such as something against discrimination, to protect the environment, gender equality. All of that you have to teach the kids when they're very young.
That is so important. That's one of the things that is, and that's one of the reasons why we, I guess, started talking. And because I noticed some of the things you were doing, I have a lot of I'm very sensitive when it comes to kids, because since I had my first kid about 5 years ago, I started to be more interested, obviously, because you're gonna be a parent, so you kind of have to do your job. And
Exactly.
and I found out like so many things about the importance of a child's first 3 years in the environment that they are in, for example, the nutrition side of things, the emotional side of things, and overall the education also, and how the first 3 years are really the true foundation of not only the child's personality in the long term, but how the character, how they become when they're older. And when I look at Haiti, and I see what these kids are exposed to at an early age, or basically throughout the entire lives, it makes sense to me in a way where I'm like, okay, so there's a reason why we're in this, mess that we are in right now overall as a country, because the foundation is not there. So when a kid is born in Haiti, automatically they're placed in a situation, for the most part, that's not favorable to growth and or to healthy growth, right? So from that point on, it's kind of like a downward spiral, because they're never exposed to any type of real education, nutrition, even like I said, emotional support and all that kind of stuff, which is super, super hard. And I got involved with Projet Saint-Anne about 6 years ago already. And I wanted to try to find a way. The minute that I found out, that's strange, because the minute that I found out that my wife was pregnant 6 years ago, that's when I started to really be like, okay, interested in, how can I be the best father that I can to offer the best possible to my kids. And I wrote a song called Kembela. And I had no purpose really for the song at first. It just happened to develop that way. And one of my friends was part of Projet Saint-Anne, and he introduced me to the founder of Projet Saint-Anne, Naika. And from there, we said, okay, let's try to see if we can team up and bring awareness to the importance of education in Haiti, or in any third world country really, or in any country, even first world countries. Education is always going to be key. And that's basically what took me there and really exposed me to the system or lack thereof in Haiti, and how important it is, and what kind of impact I could bring on a personal level and also on a much larger level, right? So again, thank you for doing that, because we started talking about how we could possibly help each other out. We're so busy with other things; it's very difficult, but we really want to help.
Should.
Yeah, we should. And I created the definitely.
We should find a way to work on something together, as long as Haiti can benefit from it, and the kids, especially the kids, because I work.
Absolutely, and I have another thing that obviously I'll get a chance to explain it to you afterwards, but there's going to be other opportunities that we can maybe collaborate on a larger scale and see if we can make a bigger impact. And we'll talk about that, because today is more about you. I want to ask you about your YouTube channel and your overall presence on social media. As you know, I have a background in marketing and social media and digital marketing, to be more exact. And I've been noticing your growth on social media, obviously, and using that platform again to spread, positive messages, love, and education for children in Haiti. And can you take us through the process of developing that YouTube channel and also growing your following and making the best possible out of that following?
Okay, I would say for YouTube, YouTube is a search engine as well, right? So a great part of growing on YouTube is basically creating content that people are searching for. So I think when you create this content, your videos can get discovered better because people are actually looking for this content, and it's also your ability to know what the people are gonna look for.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in my case, I started growing my YouTube channel doing prediction videos for Miss Universe, because I know this is what people are gonna be looking for in this moment, right? Because it was Miss Universe, and people want to see the contestant. They want to know more about them. They want to know who will go far. They want to know what we think, because we've been there. So this is actually how I started my YouTube channel.
My next question is about the likes feature, because in Spain, I know that in Europe, they've taken down the likes. I don't know how long, but they've tried, or I don't know where it's at right now. But in the US, they attempted.
They took it out.
They took it out, so you guys don't see how many likes you have per picture. No, right?
No, I see.
Oh, you see, but your I'm sorry. You see, but your followers don't see.
I don't see others.
You don't see others.
And if a brand wants to contact me, then I can screenshot and then send their mine. They wouldn't see.
Got it.
They would see more.
How do you?
What do you think of that? What do you think of this new decision of Instagram?
I think it's important that they look into that, and I think it's a great idea. It's a great concept, because I think people are putting too much value, and I'm gonna separate the business side of things and the personal side of things, because I think it's two different things. I think most people are using Instagram for personal reasons. Nothing wrong with that. It's a fun platform. I spend too much time on it. So there's 3 billion plus people on there, right? And only a fraction of them are business. Most of them are personal. So because of that, I think people are putting too much emphasis and too much value on the likes, the following, based on physical appearance or just random things, right? It doesn't really matter how many likes you get, in my opinion, unless you have a clear goal of presenting an offer or something like that. Then it comes to be very, very important. But now we've become a society where we're placing the value of our lives, our lifestyle, and who we are based on the number of likes, shares, comments that we get on an Instagram post or a social media post. That's where I think the danger comes. So I understand the concept. I like the concept. I haven't experienced it, because here is I still get to see likes from everyone, but I wouldn't mind they take it away, and then I would make everybody on the same level.
In the US, they haven't taken it in your account?
Not in my account.
They do it per account. I think they go accounts per account.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something that has to do with the country.
I think, no, countries, they developed, I think it started out in Europe, Australia, Canada, and all over the world. The U.S. is still, I think, on a state or city, kind of restrictions, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
A lot of people don't know. I'll look into that and get the real answer. But I know that I have access to seeing the likes from, for everyone, But once,
okay.
if they were to remove that for me also, or here, I think, putting all of us on the same level. Like, I don't know how many likes you got, you know how many likes I get, and now you would be more prone to liking. I feel, because if, for example, you're like, oh wow, this is nice, why not? If you like it, like it. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess we'll see. They say that it will be the same for everyone pretty soon this year. I guess we'll see if they roll it out. But the ultimate,
I think it's a great way to encourage people to post more and not care about what the content so much. Not the content, but the
results,
likes, the appreciation they would get, like the feedback, right? So I think it's just a decision to please like the vast majority of people that are on Instagram, right? It doesn't beneficiate us as, like, for example, me in my case as influencer, it doesn't. But
yeah.
I mean, Instagram, it doesn't just think about one group of people. They think about
Everyone.
People that only have maybe 20 followers. They think about all of them. They want them to engage and produce more content.
Absolutely.
And if they're relying on having one like or something like that, maybe they wouldn't, even put it out there.
Well, you're doing smart things and you're using the platform the way it should be used. I realized that recently you put up a series of quarantine exercises and activities on your Instagram. Like I think drinking wine was one of them. Exercise was something else, and you also had a guest, former Miss Universe, Natalie Glebova. I hope I said it right.
Yes, she was Miss Universe 2005.
Okay, and so I guess you've been using the quarantine situation to the best.
To lift up people, yes.
Say it again.
To lift up people, because it's a very difficult moment for all of us. At first, like I said, I freaked out. I didn't know what to do with all of this time. And I'm pretty sure so many people are having a very hard time because of not only this confinement in itself, but also not being able to work, maybe having financial problems, maybe not. I mean, in Spain, it's very strict. I don't know in other parts of the world how it is, but I have been in my house for 6 weeks without really going out. I just went out maybe 3 times or 4 times just to get food, because of course I'm eating, right?
Yeah.
But apart from that, this is very strict, and you could go mad, you could go crazy in the house.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
And my goal with this was to try to motivate and especially entertain, because when you're at home, you don't have much to do, then I'm pretty sure they appreciate this type of entertainment where they can join in the conversation, because live session is a great way to engage with your audience. They ask questions, you answer, and of course with some topics that I know they would love. They follow me because many people following me are fans of Miss Universe, for example, and I know they would have enjoyed. I know they enjoyed the live session that I did with Natalie Glebova. For example, they had so many questions. I had a live workout as well that I know many people joined. And also I had a session called Wine and Chat.
Yeah.
And that was kind of really fun because I did it with Miss Dominican Republic. So she was first runner-up at Miss World. Her name is Yaritza Reyes, and I know people from my page would love to see her, because when I became first runner-up in 2016, she became first runner-up at Miss World in 2016 as well. So
nice.
For DR, me for Haiti.
So the entire island.
And yes, so that means the whole island succeeded in that year, and I know they were very happy to see her. She was confined as well in Spain. So we were talking about the struggles, the struggles we face, and also we were sharing some advice to motivate people and what they should do during this time, to stay positive and to stay productive.
Well, very good, very good. And that's smart. It's utilizing your platform to the best of your abilities, obviously, and creating a positive out of a negative, which is what we're all trying to do as much as possible. So before we go, Raquel, let us know what is next for you. What plans do you have? I know that probably this entire situation might probably change the plans that you had originally planned, but at least maybe you can give us a little preview of what's next and what to expect from you.
Well, first of all, I plan on continuing to empowering the kids with the foundation, and I also want to continue to create the collection of Vive les Couleurs. So this is my passion right now. So this is one of my main focus, I would say. I want to continue to help and make a difference. This is what makes me happy personally. But like I said, I'm very open to any opportunities because I consider myself so flexible, and I could be in so many fields, right? So I'm very open.
Well, that's very good to hear, and I'm sure we will talk again. Like I said, there's a lot of other things that that I want to be involved in also, especially with this time where we feel like, we're all human, we're all being affected the same way. The only difference, unfortunately, is that some of us have, at least the bare necessities. Some don't even have that right now. So that's the part that saddens me the most. But at the end, we are in a position to influence people. We're in a position to help people as much as we can. And I thank you for doing that. And I hope we get a chance to collaborate even more in the future.
Yes, I hope so too.
Well, thank you again.
I hope so too. Thanks again for inviting me. And I hope we keep in touch.
We will. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.